The NFL world is swirling with speculation, and one name is sparking serious conversation: Daniel Jones. The Miami Dolphins have emerged as a team that could pursue him once he clears waivers, alongside other suitors like the Vikings, Ravens, Lions, and 49ers. But when you really start to break it down, the fit between Miami and Jones starts to feel less like a rumor and more like a possibility that makes a lot of sense. Let's address the reality of Miami's quarterback situation. Tua Tagovailoa has been incredible when he's healthy, lighting up defenses with his precision and benefiting from the speed of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But there's always that lingering concern: his injuries. It's not just the big hits or scary moments, it's the unpredictability of when he might be sidelined again. That uncertainty leaves the Dolphins in a tough spot. They need someone who can step in and not just manage games, but actually keep them competitive. Daniel Jones could be that someone. He's been criticized heavily during his time in New York, but take a step back and consider the circumstances. He was playing behind a shaky offensive line, often without reliable weapons, and a system that never seemed tailored to his strengths. It's not hard to imagine that in the right environment, with the right coaching, Jones could be much more than what we've seen so far. Miami isn't just any team. They've got a coach in Mike McDaniel who has a knack for unlocking quarterback potential. Just look at what he's done with Tua. Before McDaniel arrived, there were doubts everywhere about whether Tua was the guy to lead the Dolphins into the future. Fast forward to now, and Tua has silenced a lot of those critics. That's a testament to McDaniel's ability to design an offense that plays to his quarterback's strengths while minimizing weaknesses. Imagine what that kind of coaching could do for Jones. There's also the appeal of Miami's roster. Even if Jones starts as a backup, practicing with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the rest of this offense would be a game-changing experience for a quarterback who has never had access to this level of talent. In New York, Jones didn't have the kind of explosive playmakers that Miami has in abundance. Working with those kinds of players, even in a limited role, could help rebuild his confidence and sharpen his skills. Jones's time with the Giants ended in a way no player wants to experience. It was abrupt, unceremonious, and left him with a reputation that doesn't quite reflect the potential he showed at times. That kind of ending has broken players before, but it's also fueled some of the greatest comeback stories in the league. Think about quarterbacks like Ryan Tannehill, who found new life in Tennessee, or Geno Smith, who has rewritten his career narrative in Seattle. Those players didn't suddenly become more talented, they landed in situations that brought out the best in them. Miami could be that kind of situation for Jones. From the Dolphins' perspective, bringing in Jones would be about more than just depth. It's about being prepared for the unexpected. This team has playoff aspirations, and every game matters. If something were to happen to Tua, having someone with starting experience like Jones could be the difference between staying competitive and falling apart. It's a calculated risk, sure, but one that could pay off in a big way. Jones isn't a complete unknown. We've seen flashes of what he can do: the mobility, the arm strength, the ability to extend plays. What's been missing is consistency and a system that truly supports his development. Miami could offer both. Even if he's not stepping onto the field right away, just being in that environment, learning from McDaniel, and throwing to those receivers could help him take a big step forward. There's also the question of what Jones is looking for in his next team. Reports suggest he wants to join a team with playoff potential. Miami's playoff chances this year might be slim, but they're not non-existent. And beyond this season, the Dolphins are clearly a team on the rise. They've built a roster full of talent, they've got an innovative coach, and they're creating a culture that's focused on winning. For a player like Jones, who's trying to rebuild his career, that kind of environment has to be appealing. For Miami, this move would send a message. It would show that they're not just content with the status quo, they're looking to improve every part of their roster. It's about having options, about being ready for whatever the season throws their way. And for a team that's come so close to breaking through in recent years, that kind of preparation could make all the difference. The stakes here are high for both sides. For Jones, this is about finding a place where he can prove he belongs in this league. For Miami, it's about strengthening a team that's already knocking on the door of something great. The fit might not be obvious at first glance, but when you dig deeper, it's hard to ignore how much sense this could make. As teams line up to pitch themselves to Jones, it'll come down to what matters most to him. Does he want a chance to play immediately, or is he willing to take a step back and focus on development in the right system? If it's the latter, Miami could very well be the perfect place for him. This isn't just about a backup role, it's about the potential for something bigger for both Daniel Jones and the Dolphins.